up. First one up. We got myself. We got myself. Inception. So as I was playing through, it was interesting today. Let me tell you, it was interesting. So I was playing through and I ended up fighting this NPC. This very much male NPC. And I noticed something as I was playing and fighting this NPC. I'll let you guys see the clip for yourself. Here we go. That's a woman? Wait. That's a woman? That's a male NPC. Why does it have female voices? Why does it have female voices? Bro, you hear this? That is a male NPC with female voices. That's a fucking dude. Oh, yellow paint. Yellow paint. Follow the yellow paint. So apparently I ran into a trans warrior. I really don't know. I don't know if it's a bug. I have no idea. But I'm telling you right now, that shit is 100% a female voice on the male warrior. There's no doubt about it. And again, it could be a bug. It could be a bug for all we know. Or it could be a feature. Who knows? But I just find it to be very interesting and very funny. Because I just randomly encountered it. I wasn't searching for it. It just fucking happened. I was fighting the guy, and then all of a sudden, I just hear this female. At first, I thought it was Naue, but it's not, because I was listening. I wasn't striking him at first, and I was listening to him strike, and it was a female. Very weird. Let's bring up the next clip. So, well, actually, not the next clip. Hold on. Here, where is it at? Let's see. So we got the Assassin's Creed official page, bro. Look at the Assassin's Creed official page, boys. So the fake news continues to go out there. I've already screenshotted every single one of these pictures. I highly implore that you do the same, because the inevitable earnings call is going to happen. The inevitable layoffs are going to happen. And the inevitable sale is going to happen as well. Let it be known to screenshot this stuff. So we got picture number 1. 2-hour players. Assassin's Creed Shadows has been out for nearly 4 days now, and we are truly overwhelmed by the incredible support and enthusiasm that we've reached. With very positive player reviews on Steam, 4.79 out of 5 rating on PlayStation, 4.5 out of 5 rating on Xbox, and your hundreds of messages, the reception has been nothing but heartwarming for the team. I gotta do it. You are coping and seething. You just can't accept what you're seeing. Yes, you're coping and seething. The truth is scalding, and now you are molding and coping so hard. Coping and seething.
Why the fuck you lying? Why you always lying?
I find it interesting that they said they got hundreds of messages from a supposed player base of more than 2 million players. Like, don't you think you would get more than just a couple of hundred messages from a player base of over 2 million people? Don't you think you would get more than that? I've gotten more than a couple of hundred messages just from this live stream right now. And I got 820 people watching just on YouTube right now. I don't know. It seems a little weird. Number 2, we couldn't be happier that this game, set in a location nearly every Assassin's Creed fan and developer has dreamed about for over a decade, has finally become a reality and is now in your hands. Assassin's Creed Shadows is the work of a talented and passionate team who sought to create the ultimate Assassin's Creed experience. We are humbled by the positive reception and celebrations we've seen across the world. I gotta do it again.
Why the fuck you lying? Why you always lying?
Bro, this shit is delusional. But you know what it is? It is just trying to pretend as if everything is okay. This is the equivalent of the meme dog that is surrounded by fire. You know what I mean? They're surrounded by fire, and they're like, this is fine. This is fine. Everything's fine. We're fine. And if everything was so positive, if everything was being celebrated, if the game was being marked as the Messiah, then why the fuck do you need lawyers from Canada? Why do you have people ready to go to sue anybody that you don't like if they say the wrong thing to the wrong person? If everything is so positive, if everybody's celebrating this game, where do those lawyers come from? Anyway, number 3. To our players, this almost sounds like a goodbye letter. Thank you for your ongoing enthusiasm and support since our announcement last year. The road has been long and challenging at times, but we deeply appreciate your patience, energy, and love. It truly means the world to us, and your passion pushes and inspires us every day. And then last but not least, congratulations to Ubisoft Quebec and all of its partner studios for this accomplishment. We hope you, our players, enjoy stepping into feudal Japan, and we can't wait to see the game evolve. Thanks to your feedback. See you in Japan. Guys, can I be very clear about something? We have seen this strategy over and over and over and over again. We've seen this strategy used all the time, which is on a controversial game or a controversial TV show or a controversial movie. What do? You wait a couple of days, you claim victory online with no proof whatsoever. You just claim victory and keep claiming victory and hope that the narrative sticks. We've seen this happen all the time. You know who else did this? Rings of Power did this. Rings of Power claimed victory over the Chuds with 20 million sampled views on the first 2 episodes. And they said sampled 20 million samples. And then we came to find out that a sample was only about 3 seconds long. Veilguard also did the same exact thing. Veilguard tried to claim victory as well. Every single one of these people are faking it. Every single one. And then what ends up happening? You end up listening to the earnings call. You see the articles come out a few months later. You see the journalists start to change their tune, switch it up. With Veilguard, every journalist was praising it. 10 out of 10, perfect game. Couple of months later, this game is trash. They start attacking it. They start talking about what went wrong. Why is nobody buying the game? Why is nobody playing the game? Blah, 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 whatever. They change their tune. It happens all the time. This happened with Concord. Concord said that they were ready to support the game for years to come. That they got positive community sentiment. That all the hatred was white noise. And they're dead. Volition did the same exact thing with Saints Row. They were trying to pretend as if Saints Row was amazing, everything was fine, and that the Chuds are just being bigoted, and they're a vocal minority, and they're perfectly fine. They're dead. They're dead. They were calling people haters, and now they're calling people haters from the unemployment line. They're dead. Ubisoft is doing the same exact strategy that every single one of their predecessors did before them. They are 100% going to flop. They are 100% going to do layoffs. And they will most likely sell. Whether it's a couple of IPs or selling their studio, I don't know. But it's coming. I can't wait for the earnings call. So this is why I'm screenshotting every single one of these fucking posts. Every single one of these posts, every single one of these pictures, screenshot all of it. Because we know it's coming. It's only a matter of time. They're not going to be able to recoup their money. I can't even respond because I'm fucking blocked by Assassin's Creed, which you guys already know that, but I'm literally fucking blocked by them because I posted I posted, we was samurai and shit with Steve Harvey. That's my favorite meme, by the way, of like all time. That's my favorite meme of all time. Let's get to the next one. So Black Jesus is in the game, by the way, guys. Or I should say Jesus Dog. Jesus Dog is in the game, guys. I don't know if you've seen this, but this is AAA quality, and I just wanted to show you guys what a real game looks like. All right, here we go. Volume's up. Check it out. Jesus Dog.
Oh my god, it stood up like a human! What is happening?
Good boy.
Oh my god, this is very random. Okay, I have no idea what just happened. Oh my god, it stood up like a human!
That is scary as fuck, bro. That is scary as fuck. And then now it's just like, bro, look at the feet. That is scary as fuck, dude. Look at the feet. And then now he's like pretending to pet the dog. But like, dude, I feel like the dog is getting exercised right now. The demons are taking over the dog's body. What is happening? This is fucking scary. Look at this. And then why did it get stiff like that? Why is it? That's weird. That is weird. It reminds me of my manga that I have called Dog Ningen. It's the same exact thing, bro. It's fucking scary. So I wanted to share this with you guys. People thought it was hilarious. I want to buy it now. It's not a bug. It's a feature. Your quadruple A game. This will give me nightmares. It did the meme. Bro, that shit is scary, man. It's scary. All right, let's go to the next one. So Pirate Nation ended up posting this, something we kind of already knew, but I wanted to share it with you guys anyway. Pirate Nation said apparently this is how they got 2 million players on Assassin's Creed Shadows. For those interested in the game, to the PC, Ubisoft Plus, $15 a month sub offers the game as well. You can sign up, then cancel, and have a whole month to try it out without spending $70 on it. I believe it's worth a try. This is being spread out on Facebook. People are encouraging other people to check out Ubisoft Plus for $15 a month, and that way you can play the game without having to buy it. So we kind of already knew that, but again, just wanted to show you that. There's also review bombing happening on Assassin's Creed Shadows, both negative and positive. And I got somebody posting it here. How do I say this? Bun Birioto, something like that. Shout out to you, man. People shouldn't be able to review games unless they themselves purchase them. I've seen people here and there complaining about haters dropping low scores on Assassin's Creed Shadows and bringing down the score. But there are also people who are dropping perfect scores because they are trying to manipulate the score to make it higher. I saw a 10 out of 10 score that simply said, don't listen to the review bombers. Yeah, I agree. People who are dishonestly dropping zeros or 10 out of 10 should be ignored. I agree. I say this all the time, man. Review bombing goes both ways. There's positive review bombing and then there's negative review bombing. It goes both ways. And nobody ever wants to bring up the 10 out of 10 review bombs because those are believable to the shills, right? The shills are like, yep, that matches my ideology. I'm going to let it slide, even though it's obviously bullshit. And then he says, I doubt it's a 0 as much as I doubt it's a perfect 10. But here's proof of purchase. If proof of purchase was required, the total number of reviews will likely go down. So again, this is the total review right now, 81. User score is at a 5.8 mixed. If you look here, PS4 PC Live says strange. They keep erasing my review while the game is still a dumpster fire. Anyone that gives it a 10 is a bot. This game is the biggest piece of hot garbage. Save yourself money. I've played every other Assassin's Creed game, and this is by far the worst. 10 out of 10. One of the best Assassin's Creed games. Don't listen to the review bomber kids. This is literally a fake review. This is a fake review. This is someone saying don't listen to the review bomber kids and giving it a 10 out of 10 to counter the review bombers that are supposedly there. This person, 10 out of 10, one of the best games in the franchise in recent years. The attention to every little detail given to the game is amazing. Great gameplay in a living world. The only negative point of the game is the enemy AI, which leaves something to be desired, but not to the point of ruining the experience. You sure about that? Sometimes it could get a little bit wonky. Sometimes it can get a little bit wonky with the AI, and it honestly does ruin the experience a little bit. But let's keep going. So we got Tebow, also known as Minimum Effort Live. Shout out to Minimum Effort Live. He quote tweeted this person called Ben, who says Ubisoft won, the Twitter grifters lost. Oh yeah, Ubisoft won. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Ubisoft won, all right. You want Ubisoft to win. I can't wait, bro. I'm telling you right now, I can't fucking wait. I cannot wait for the earnings call. Like the stream if you agree. I cannot wait for the earnings call because you know, I know, and they know that the moment that earnings call drops and we hear those magic words of either the game undersold expectations or the game sold lightly or whatever the case may be, I cannot wait for that earnings call because you want to know what's going to happen? All these people are going to disappear. They're all going to disappear. Every single one of them is going to disappear off of the face of the internet like they do with every single fucking game. They disappeared with Dragon Age the Veilguard. They disappeared with X Defiant. They disappeared with what you call it? With Prince of Persia, although they really didn't go that hard on Prince of Persia. They disappeared with Star Wars Outlaws. Star Wars Outlaws, they were running around trying to claim that shit as a victory for Ubisoft. And they disappeared so goddamn fast. Now, don't get me wrong. They're going to reappear again when a new ideology game comes out. But when I say disappear, they're going to disappear from the topic at hand, which is about whatever game we're talking about right now. They're going to disappear. Once that earnings call comes out, the layoffs are announced and all that stuff, they are going to disappear and they're going to be gone. I promise you, until the next game comes out. And it's because at the end of the day, they know that they're full of shit. They know that they have no evidence. I've been countering every single comment that I possibly see about 2 million units sold on my YouTube channel. I comment and I counter every single one. And all I say is, can you please provide me evidence of 2 million copies sold? And I will update the video right now. And nobody ever responds. Nobody responds. I remember people were commenting when I was making videos on Skull and Bones. They were like, you're a grifter. The game is fine. The game is doing great. They have plenty of players. Ubisoft says the game is fine. You're a fucking lying grifter. And then the earnings call came out. And they admitted that Skull and Bones lost them a gigantic amount of money. And then those people disappeared. Those people were nowhere to be found after that. I was like, where did you all go? What happened? It happens all the fucking time. They said the same thing about Veilguard. They were like, Cope and Seethe, you fucking grifter. The game hit 89,000 concurrent. That's a great number. It's selling like hotcakes. Get woke, go to the top of the charts. And then the studio got laid off. The director got fired. Most of the team got fired. And then they're all gone. Where did the defenders go at that point? Where did they go? What happened? I thought the game was a massive win. What's going on? See, the problem is I have no problem admitting when a game does well. You know what I mean? Because I always said from the beginning that Assassin's Creed was going to sell pretty decently, only because it's an Assassin's Creed game, obviously. But my question was whether or not it was going to beat out Valhalla. That was always my question. And I got my answer. It didn't beat out Valhalla. It can't beat out Valhalla. It could beat out the older games, Odyssey, Origins. I would hope it could. But as of right now, it can't beat Valhalla. So the game is clearly not selling well enough for the simple fact that most people are choosing to play it on Ubisoft Plus. I think the biggest platform this game has right now is PlayStation 5. I would say PlayStation 5 is probably slightly ahead of Steam. And then Xbox is like fucking nothing. It's barely selling on Xbox. Most of the player base is probably on PS5 for this game. So let's continue. We got this one here. I love this meme. I wanted to share this meme with you guys. Please let me share this meme with you guys. Don't be so sensitive. It's just pixels on a screen. When people are trying to defend the shrine destruction, which are pixels on the screen. But the same people be like, don't make fun of that. That's literally racist and homophobic. Yasuke's romance option with a non-binary samurai, also pixels on the screen. This is a great fucking meme, man. The memes are glorious, by the way. The memes are glorious. All right, so here's what we're going to do now. We're going to go into the Assassin's Creed Shadows forums. Guys, I'm telling you, are you ready for this? Do you have popcorn? Do you have popcorn? Do you have popcorn and drinks? Guys, you need it. You need it. I'm telling you right now, you need it. Look at some of these topics. Look at some of these topics. This is content gold. Yasuke was a samurai. Wokeness will never die. You can't make me buy this game. Schedule I just curb stomped Assassin's Creed Shadows. 50% discount when? There is nothing wrong with this game. Nothing. Zero. Bro, content gold. Content gold. Here we go. We're going to start with this one. We're going to start with Yasuke was a samurai. And you cannot deny it. Here we go. Here we go. You guys ready for this? This is great. I can't wait. So Yasuke was a samurai from Million Hit Sparks. Oh, look. A 0 Steam level. Wow. Shocking. Shocking. Almost as if it's a new account that is simply meant to push propaganda in the Assassin's Creed Shadows forums. Shocking. I'm not surprised. So, Yasuke was a samurai. Yasuke being a samurai is a well-known fact. But given that there are still alt-right incel revisionists denying history, I figured I'd correct the record and drop the receipts so that the others can share them easily when they show up. What is his receipts? An article from the fucking Gamer. An article from the Gamer.com. What's his other evidence? Wikipedia. Wikipedia, which, by the way, Wikipedia is also an advocate for revisionist history, because the moment this game came out, they edited the fuck out of that page. They blocked the editing of the page afterwards, and they won't let people edit the page. They won't let people edit the page. Wikipedia does this all the time. Wikipedia as a fucking source, bro. So you got the Gamer and you got Wikipedia. Here's other readings on Yasuke. As the first foreign-born samurai, he is honestly a fascinating character. And it's the same fucking leftist accounts that they always showcase. Smithsonian Magazine, which quoted Thomas Lockley. CNN.com, which quoted Thomas Lockley. BBC.com. What? The irony of Yasuke and BBC.com is just hilarious to me, bro. I know what the BBC actually is, but come on, you guys got to admit, BBC.com talking about a character known as Yasuke, the Black Samurai, there's some ironic laughter to be had there. All right, there's some ironic. It's funny. It's funny. Let me rock, all right? And then you got another one, Time.com. Time.com also quoted Thomas Lockley. So all of these leftist fucking websites quoting Thomas Lockley's fake history book as facts. As facts. Kettering says, what's up with the troll bot army spamming the same topic that always gets deleted? 10 years on Steam and 1 game. Thanks for this. I feel like I learned a lot. You didn't learn shit. Athmet says thanks, but since none of those links are coming from an I am an angry at the web YouTubers, I decree all those as fake. Oh, so you won't believe the YouTubers, but you will believe Thomas Lockley, who literally lied in his book, is considered fiction, and he edited the Wikipedia page himself so that he could write a book on it? Crazy. Yeah, I definitely see this exact thread days ago, too. Is this a culture war everyone has been talking about? The fact is that the historian on whose books this is based on was put on trial in Japan for falsifying history. Again, guys, every single one of these people, every single one of these websites are quoting Thomas Lockley. Thomas Lockley edited the Wikipedia page. He wrote an entire book based off of a paragraph of historical text and made up 99.9% of it. He made up damn near almost everything. And you have Westerners that eat that shit up as if it's true because they need it to be true. But none of it is true. The only thing that's true is the guy's name, Yasuke. That's it. Everything else is fucking bullshit. Itachi says, yeah, I mean, Black Samurai was so common in medieval Japan. It's not medieval Japan. Bro is citing CNN, BBC, opinion discarded. Was he gay, though? That's all information sourced from Thomas Lockley, the discredited liar. I'm glad that people are calling this out, by the way. We got some quotes here. This should be good. I used to think he was just being presumptuous, speculative researcher. However, what I understand from his interview in the Japan Times is that he is deliberately lying. He who distorts history from his political beliefs is not qualified to be a historian. It's a beautiful thing. The real records does only say he was a retainer. Stop trying to bend the history. Very unlikely that he was. Turns out most of the info claiming he was a samurai came from some white guy who quoted himself and other outlets ran with it. A single Japanese historian saying he was doesn't outweigh a bunch of others saying there is no real proof. And there isn't, by the way. Again, none of this matters to me because the Japanese have showcased Yasuke in armor before. They haven't really given him the samurai, title and whatnot, but they've showcased him in armor before as a warrior, whatever. It's fine. But to be up here and pretend as if he was something he's not is ridiculous. And the only reason you're doing it is because you want to try to own the chuds. That's literally the only reason why. All right, so let's get to the next one. Wokeness will never die. This is a good one. This is, again, all of this is on Steam. If you guys are ever bored, I highly implore you to go check out the Steam forums for maximum amounts of laughter. And if you're a content creator, you will get plenty of content from this. Iced Evening 4000, level 18 Steam level. All right, so he's not some random bot. Wokeness will never die. Here we go. Men, women, white, Asian, black, straight. Black, straight, LGBTQ, religious, atheist, right-wing, left-wing, etc. Video game developers are diverse now, and so are gamers. But by the way, they've always been. I'm tired of this bullshit story that the gaming industry was not diverse before some white liberals saved it. I'm tired of that shit. The gaming industry was heavily diverse before and is just as diverse now. The only difference is that a couple of white liberals and a couple of racial grifters have figured out that they can create things called consultancy firms and convince studios that they're needed by creating a problem and then providing the solution. They are no different than politicians doing the same exact thing. They create the problem and they provide the solution and convince you that they're necessary. That is all that's happening right now. But the industry and the gaming scene as a whole has always been diverse. If you don't believe me, you can go back to some of the older fighting tournaments, some Evo tournaments. You can look at anything, really. But if you really want to see, go look at some of those older tournaments and show me that it's all white. Go ahead, I dare you. Show me it's all white, because what I remember is there was Asians, blacks, Hispanics, white people, all kinds of fucking people. Even a girl every now and then. Granted, she probably wasn't that great, but even a girl every now and then was in it. So it was always extremely diverse. Always. And to pretend like it wasn't is ridiculous. So then it says gaming will never go back to the good old days when it was just a boys club. Bro, gamers always wanted girls to be in their gaming, or in their hobbies, I should say. At least back in the day anyway. Maybe not so much now because people are gatekeeping. But if you ever went up to a truly nerdy guy as a woman and wanted to talk about his hobbies, you really think he's not going to be gooning and wanted to talk about his hobbies? Really? All these nerdy ass kids, bro, they 100% would want to talk about their hobbies with a chick all the time. Then it says, actually, that's how things are. Yet some gamers want the entire industry to just cater to their taste. That's weak, if you ask me. It's childish to throw tantrums because some companies choose to make decisions you don't like. Just play whatever game appeals to you. I find it interesting that this argument is being used whenever it's against something that these particular people believe in. But the moment something happens to their ideology, suddenly it's important and it needs to be paid attention to. And it's not complaining, but it's serious. So when people complain about the gay shit, or when people complain about like pronouns and whatever, now all of a sudden it's a big fucking deal and it's serious. It's like, what? I thought it was just pixels. I thought it wasn't a big deal. It's rules for thee, but not for me, of course. Also, remember you have a backlogs. Oh my God, I can't fucking talk. Backlog of games you haven't played. I agree with this. There is a backlog of games that you haven't played yet. Go play them. And buy the games that you feel like you should buy when they're brand new. Make informed decisions. Go watch people play the games. Use them as a review. Use them as a extended trial. Use them as whatever you possibly can. But yeah, people have huge backlogs, of course. So then somebody says it would only die if the world regresses. It's happening in the US, but that is forced and would be temporary. As we as a species become more advanced and evolved, our differences would seem like less and less of an issue, and we would see far less hissy fits when artistic freedoms relating to diversity are exercised. The end goal might resemble what we see on shows like Star Trek. People are saying bracklog. Bracklog, absolutely. So let's watch some other ones. Oh, so let's read some other ones. Sorry. So we got this one. Where is it at? Here we go. Haters lost again. This is good. Haters lost again from Jill Sandwich. A level 148 Steam level. Acting like an idiot. That's crazy. That's crazy, bro. Haters lost again. It's work/school day, and 40,000 players are playing it. And it keeps rising. Anti-woke warriors once again lost so badly, bro. Bro. Are we seriously trying to say that 40,000 concurrent players on Steam is a good thing? He's point farming? Maybe. He could be. 100%. He absolutely could be. But look at the amount of clown emojis, bro. I'm about to start doing this. I swear to God. I'm about to start. I want points. I want to go to the point shop. No, they never lose. They'll just keep moving the goalposts. I find it hilarious that we're the ones moving the goalposts, but they're the ones that are not wanting to talk about sales, and they only want to talk about players engaged. But we're the ones moving the goalposts. 40K for a mainstream quad A game is now considered a success? Dude, that is barely $2 million. Didn't it cost around $300 million to make the generic game that disrespects Japanese culture? So this person thinks that 40K concurrent is all the players that are available. That's not true at all. The game has sold a few 100,000 copies on Steam. It's very easy that the game sold that much. Can you tell me what part of this is a win? Because Monster Hunter Wilds takes the million first day. Get woke, make bank? Okay. Is this a real account? No, of course not. Look at this. Bro, look at these fake ass accounts. Level 0 Steam level. talking about get woke, make bank. Fake ass accounts, bro. Wild's released on a weekday, Friday morning to 1.3 million players. 40,000 is less than Odyssey had by 34%. A month ahead in the future. Yo, he got banned. A month ahead in the future, Ubisoft ceased to exist and every single misbegotten weirdo got fired. He got banned for this? That's crazy. Yasuke Simulator has more players, bro. 40K is the same as the PS Port title. Laughed my ass off. Let's see. Woke in Turkey, not already in prison. What the fuck, bro? In other words, I can't even get the numbers. Veilguard had a release date. Grim. This is what I'm talking about, bro. Like, Veilguard was a massive failure. Everybody kept trying to convince people that it wasn't. And then eventually it came out that it was proved that it was a failure. Like a huge failure. It lost BioWare and EA hundreds of millions of dollars. On the low side, like low 100s, but still. It lost them over $100 million easily. And they had to fire almost everybody. So you mean to tell me a game that is averaging half that number is somehow the most successful game of all time? And then they're going to say, well, it's a console game. Well, so was Dragon Age. You guys gave me that same exact excuse for Dragon Age. You were like, well, the Steam numbers don't matter because it's a console mostly game. Okay. So where's the same energy then? Where's the same energy? Dragon Age the Veilguard was considered a console mainly game. So is Shadows. So if Dragon Age the Veilguard did double on Steam than Shadows, wouldn't it be safe to imagine that Shadows is probably selling less than Veilguard on console? Or would that not be safe to imagine? I mean, I don't get it. 40K for a new Assassin's Creed game is awful. In what world 40K players in AAA game is a good result? Imagine using look at this. Imagine using $1 billion company that doesn't care if you live to own the chuds. Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 did better numbers than this. Dude, I'm just gonna say it like this, man. Flat out. If you need to market your game with players engaged and not copies sold, and you are not a live service game, an MMO, or a free-to-play game, you are failing. You are failing. Flat out. If you are not marketing your game with copies sold, because I've seen indie games market their games with copies sold. I've seen indie games celebrate 100,000 copies sold because for them, it's a big deal. They're not marketing with players engaged. The only people marketing with players engaged are the fucking losers who aren't selling their game or who are selling their game on a subscription service, thus not making much money from it and trying to pretend like it's going to be a massive win for them. It's not. It is not. It's not like I'm making this shit up. This has been proven time and time and time again. The evidence is not on the side of the shills. The evidence is on the side of the chuds. I'm sorry to tell you. The evidence is on our side. We have seen this exact same scenario play out every single fucking time. It's nauseating. And every time this shows like, it's not happening. It's not happening. Like, what do you mean it's not happening? You said that 5 times already with 5 other games. And they're like, no, it's not happening. I promise it's not happening. These people are hopeless, bro. So anyway, let me go back. Let me go back to this fucking page. Let me refresh it really quick. Let's see if anything else brand new popped up. Oh, there is nothing wrong with this game. Here we go. I can't pinpoint the exact reasons people have issues with this game since it goes against the terms of service, so I'll express this instead. I find it immature to hide behind fabricated excuses for disliking the game. It's clearly untrue that anyone here is offended on behalf of Japan, as no one can specify what exactly the Japanese might find offensive. What do you mean? What do you mean? People and Japanese players especially have been telling you exactly. What level are you? Of course, man. It's every fucking time. Every fucking time, bro. It's a 0 level Steam account every time. I knew it too. Japanese people have been telling you what's wrong for months. You guys have been ignoring them. You didn't want to even believe it was real. You tried to say it was white people using Google Translator. You guys are choosing to ignore Japanese people and the issues they have with it. They have a lot of issues with it, a lot of actual real issues with it. And I think it's insane that you're trying to tell them that their issues are not warranted when it's issues with their own fucking country. The fucking prime minister is talking about Assassin's Creed Shadows. Why the hell is the prime minister talking about a Ubisoft game? My main frustration with the gaming community here is their inability to be straightforward about their objections to the game. We all know the underlying reason. You were never genuinely interested in the game, even as it approaches 3 million players and counting. Why can't you just allow others to... What? Oh my God, dude. This shit is wild to me. This is wild. It really is. 3 million players hasn't even been announced. It doesn't equate to sales. Nobody is saying you can't enjoy the game. Never once, not me anyway. I've never once said you can't enjoy the game. You are allowed to enjoy whatever you want. But people are also allowed to complain and talk about whatever they want. It's very disingenuous for you to assume that everybody complaining about this game right now never had any interest in it. Or genuine interest in it. I'm sorry, let me rephrase. I think that's bullshit. A lot of people tend to be more passionate about things that they care about. And a lot of people cared about Assassin's Creed. And now Ubisoft is doing what they're doing, and they have every right to be angry about it. And where are the 3 million players, by the way? Have they even announced that? I don't even think they announced that. Where are the 3 million players? I guess they got to keep adding up the original players over and over and over again until they hit that milestone, huh? Probably. Some people are saying sometimes it shows 0 when it's not 0. Let's see. This profile's private. I'm gonna safely say it's a 0. It's a troll account. It's private. It doesn't want to get attacked. It wants to just use it for whatever nonsense. Let's see. Playing on expert. Game is far too easy. I agree. The game is super fucking easy. The combat is unbelievably easy for the most part. The boss battles are a joke. Predict player count at 30 days post-release. Let's see what this says. If we are measuring things via player engagement instead of sales, and they are currently somewhere between 2 and 3 million, what do you think the number will be 1 month after release? Moving goalposts since its success is undeniable at this point. Funny. What are you talking about? If it's successful, post the sales. If it's successful, post the fucking sales. 12 copies. It's extreme to a point of reality now. Over 2 million players, while you have to theory crap reasons to say it isn't doing well, keep grasping, bro. The desperation is through the moon. Oh, look. You're playing Idle Champions, Dungeons and Dragons right now. You're not even playing Assassin's Creed currently. Such an amazing game that is. You lost the culture war. What success? Show me sales figures. I'll wait. Thank you. Can we get that? Can we get some sales figures, please? Anything? If a player like this can have fun, you can too. What's that? What the hell? Who is this? I'm not even going to bother. What the fuck is that about? Where players? Fellas, if you claim billions in sales, you're supposed to have a corresponding number of players on your release weekend. 2K sales equals to at least 200K players, closer to 250K. Just look at charts for KCD2 Wilds, any other actually good game. You're barely pulling up numbers fit for a decade-old live service game. Ubisoft just lying about sales as a last-ditch effort to prevent bankruptcy. We know the 45K peak around release on Steam was really bad for a massive franchise like Assassin's Creed. BG3 alone had about that much still after about a year after release, which was a company that was nowhere established as Ubisoft, all because Larian listened to players' feedback. The game did very bad. Fanboys are in denial, trying to pretend it's doing great. It's just cringe. Everyone knows it's doing bad. Everyone can see the numbers. But if they want to live in their own little fantasy of how Shadows is the best game ever, then more power to them, but it's not reality. Here we go again. Most Assassin's Creed players are console plebs. This game got more sales than its last release, which was considered a success. This game is no different. No, it didn't. No, it fucking didn't, bro. No, it didn't. You guys are taking their statement about Assassin's Creed Shadows having more players at launch, and you're tying that to the word sales and saying that it had more sales than its previous games. No, it didn't. This is why they do marketing like this, because they know retards like this are going to say, oh, it has 2 million players. Wow, that's 2 million sales. Like, oh my God, dude. Are you really this fucking stupid? Are you really this stupid? Another person not understanding the games aren't only on Steam. Do you by any chance see a mouse icon next to my name? No. Yet I have 25 hours in the game already. How do you think that happens? Can you post sales numbers? Can anybody post sales numbers? If it has over 2 million players and only 64,000 are on Steam, then it's not that hard to figure that out. The rest of all those players are either on console or Ubisoft Connect, either from normal sales on that platform or Ubisoft Plus. Apparently, it's hard for you to understand that concurrent player numbers are not equivalent to total sales. Jesus! Oh my God! This guy's like, oh, 64,000 on Steam. That means the rest of that 2 million's on other platforms. 64,000 concurrent is not the same as 64,000 totality. If you have 64,000 concurrent, chances are you probably sold about 200,000 copies on Steam. Give or take. Not everybody in the world that's playing the game is going to play it at the same time. Shit, man. 64K is the all-time peak, not total players. Thank you. Somebody knows. So this retard knows that, but he doesn't know the difference between players engaged and the amount of sales. Got it. Okay, so he's only half retarded. Got it. Okay. You really think consoles are going to carry this game? I don't think so. I don't think so either. Best Assassin's Creed since Assassin's Creed 2. In addition to Steam, players play on PlayStation, Xbox, and Ubisoft. Obviously. They're not lying about the sales because they never actually specified them. For all we know, 2 million players can mean 2 million Ubisoft subscriptions, which translates to the revenue of just 500K copies sold. They're cooked 100%. 100%. Let's see. Both KCD2 and Wilds had the same people attacking those games, calling them slop and failures because of their woke content. I love the flip-flopping going on from the Intel community on what games are good or not. There is no flip-flopping. There is no flip-flopping. The people who hate that shit are consistently hating it. The people who have a difference of opinion, a little bit more nuance towards RPGs, are going to have that. And the people who are all for it are going to be all for it. There is no flip-flopping, bro. People knew KCD was going to be a success. Everybody said KCD was going to be a success. Everybody said that Wilds was going to be a success. Why the fuck is Wilds even in here? What's woke about Wilds? Because you could put beards on a female? Bro, that's been around forever, bro. That's been around even outside of video games. Let me guess. The dwarves in Tolkien's Lord of the Rings are woke because the females have beards? The fuck? Jesus Christ, man. Steam is the world's largest video game platform and has had a massive drain of console gamers to PC for a few years now. Before, if Steam sold poorly, console games sell well. Now, if Steam sells poorly, the number of console buyers are not enough to cover production costs. I would agree with this. Because we have seen every single time that when people say, oh, Steam numbers don't matter, they're so full of shit because the game always flops. Always. Always the game flops whenever they say Steam numbers don't matter. It's amazing to me. And yet they keep saying it every single release. These console guys are really like, nope, it's us. We're the ones that are going to carry it to victory. Since when? Since when has that happened on any game that released universally on all platforms? Very rarely is that going to happen. Anyway, let's do one more check on the forums before we exit out. Let's see. Anything good? Let's see. I dare someone to give this to me. Wow. So now we're just begging for is that you, Booty Adams? Is that you?
Moo! Oh, you found your moo.
Are you trying to move for a review code? You already have one. They gave it to you. They gifted it to you. Stop begging. Stop begging, Booty Adams. Stop. Stop begging. Let's see. Anything interesting? Playing on expert. Let's check the second page. Let's see. Anything interesting before we end? Let's see. Shadows. Vote with your money, guys. Nope. Europeans are ruining the game. Holy shit. Europeans from a guy called Mohammed. Bro, this is great bait. This is great bait. This is how you bait. I like this. I like this. Look at this fucker. Look at Habibi. Muhammad. Level 15. Rainbow fucking profile avatar thing. And he's attacking Europeans. This is how you bait. I'm telling you, bro. This content for days on this Steam forums. Hold on. Europeans are ruining the game. Let's cut the hypocrisy. The outrage over Shadows isn't about historical accuracy or franchise purity. It's about entitled gamers refusing to share the spotlight. Feudal Japan finally gets its due, and suddenly the usual suspects are crying foul. But my knights, Europe had its turn. The Assassin's Creed franchise had 10 plus games fetishizing European history. Crusaders, pirates, Vikings, and Renaissance pretty boys. Japan, a setting fans beg for since 2007, finally arrives, and Europeans are still center stage in the discourse. Why can't you let other cultures exist without demanding a colonizer cameo? Oh, wow. We are taking this really serious. Okay. Yasuke doesn't belong. Check your history and bias. The tantrums over Yasuke, a real historical figure, reek of selective outrage. Where was this energy when Valhalla let you play as a female Viking warlord? Statistically improbable. Improbable, but not impossible. Improbable, but not impossible. Or Odyssey let you romance every Greek islander. The Greeks did a lot of gay shit. I don't know if this Habibi is aware of that, but the Greeks did a lot of gay shit. Are we aware of that? Non-European characters are held to purity tests Europeans never face. Admit it. You just don't want black heroes in your historical spaces. Ah. Interesting. Nice. Review bombing before release, peak fragility, says the guy writing a fucking God knows how long this is. Metacritic is already flooded with 0 to 10 out of reviews, screeching woke agenda. What about the 10 out of 10s? What about the 10 out of 10s? Wait. Are we going to talk about the 10 out of 10s? What about that? What about the 10 out of 10s that are like perfect game, best ever? Is that a review? Meanwhile, these same gamers happily ignored Unity's broken launch. No, we didn't. People complained about Unity all the time. Unity was broken as fuck. I bought Unity. I remember buying Unity about like a month or two after it came out when it was on sale. Booted up the game, realized it was still buggy as shit, and it took me a year to play the game. I left it alone. I was like, I'll come back. And I played it like a year later. Valhalla's Grindfest micro. Bro, everybody complained about Valhalla's Grindfest. Everybody complained about that shit. I complained about that shit, and I like grindy games. Valhalla was grindy as fuck, and then the microtransactions are ridiculous. Funny how historical accuracy only matters when it's not another white guy with a sword. No, it matters all the time. As much as possible. And it matters especially when you advertise your game as historically accurate. We didn't do that. Ubisoft did that. That's not our fault. We're just protecting history. No, you're gatekeeping, which I feel like you have the right to. The Assassin's Creed series has always been taking liberties, magical apples, time travel, and Isu gods. Yes, they did. But the Assassin's Creed franchise has also tried to be historically accurate in other avenues as well. Even if they were telling a fantastical story within the universe, at the end of the day, they still tried to be historically accurate. Why do you think they tried so hard to mimic one for one the areas of which they were trying to mimic? In Unity, a lot of the architecture that's there was actually there. In a lot of these games, they try really hard to be accurate in their environments and what they're showcasing. But yeah, obviously there were liberties, let's say, when it comes to the story. The Assassin's Creed, anyway. But suddenly, Senator, a black samurai who existed, he existed, but he wasn't a samurai, is a bridge too far. This isn't about preserving history. It's about controlling whose stories get told and who's allowed to enjoy them. So what it's really about is the simple fact that we know that the company Ubisoft made this decision not because they wanted to showcase Yasuke, because they love Yasuke. They wanted to use Yasuke. They wanted to use Yasuke because when they started making this game, it was 2020. St. Floyd just got killed. And everybody was out here crying about it, donating to BLM so that these lesbians could get mansions in white neighborhoods. So Ubisoft was no different. Ubisoft was realizing, oh, wow, this is 2020. We need to do something. Our St. Floyd just died. We need to do something. What can we do? Guys, what can we do? How can we make this better? Oh, I know. Let's put fucking Yasuke in the game. Let's make the protagonist black. I guarantee you, how much you would have bet? I'll put money on this. I guarantee you, and unfortunately, I'll never know. But I guarantee you that Ubisoft wanted to put a black protagonist into the game and didn't even know about the existence of Yasuke. I guarantee you there was a meeting that happened over at Ubisoft. They had some conversation about changing the race of the male protagonist. And they were like, how can we make this happen? Because people are going to be mad about this. How can we make this happen? And then they eventually researched and they found out about Yasuke from Thomas Lockley. And they bought the story and they're like, that's what we're going to do. That's our way in. Our way in is with Yasuke. Let's make it happen. I guarantee you, bro. I don't think any of these fucking people knew about Yasuke before they started making this game. Me personally. Then again, maybe they did, considering that they've made video games on history before. So maybe they did. But I'm just not buying it. I think they found out after the fact, and I think they bought the story from Thomas Lockley, and they moved on with it, and that's what they went with. Especially since Yasuke looks so damn similar to George Floyd. If George Floyd had Yasuke's hair, bro, it would be really close, which is what I find interesting. And then people going to be like, that's racist. No, it's not. It's not racist to say two black people look similar. Just like it's not racist to say two Mexicans look similar. It's not racist to say two white people look similar. But people get so mad when you say that. But that's what it is. So, again, guys, that's basically it for this ridiculous story. Assassin's Creed continues to provide amazing content, continues to provide absolute cope from the shills out there, and they're not doing too well. The ironic thing is they think that we're angry and that we're losing, but the simple fact of the matter is we've been winning like crazy, and we are going to continue to be winning. And the deciding factor is going to be the revelation of layoffs, the earnings call, the Ubisoft call. That's going to be the deciding factor. I almost have a feeling that Ubisoft is going to try to lie about Assassin's Creed Shadows in the earnings call, knowing that people are going to be watching, waiting to clip them of their admission that the game was a failure. So they're going to try to find a way to talk about the game's performance without saying that it was a failure in any way. They're going to try to find a way to do that. I don't know how they're going to do that, but they're going to try to find a way to do it.